was looking for a way to create a pinch punch effect with a procedural texture, and I came up with this one. And so it does a pretty good job. And you can sweep this down, and then it does this wild thing as you pass this point, and then goes up in the other direction. I'm going to go over how I came up with this formula. Started out with a v vector 2 rx ry times a divided by w. And then I thought I'm going to put in a radius, which is the length of v. And then I thought it would be some function related to radius. So that's what I'm going to just start out. I have those two variables set up in here, and I'm just going to do osci of v. So osci gives you a regular checkerboard pattern. And then the first thing I thought of was maybe if I multiplied by r. And so it does give me pretty much what I like. It gives me a bulge in the middle, and it fades out towards the edges. In fact, I can zoom in and get it to bulge more. So that does a pretty good job just by multiplying by r for a bulge, but it doesn't punch in even if I go negative. So the next thing I thought I would try is to divide by r and see how that works. So when I divide by r, I just get this. No matter how far I would try to zoom in and out, it didn't change much. So eventually I thought maybe I need to divide by w. So if I take my r and divide by w, I'll put it in parentheses here. Really it's sort of like, I guess that'd be sort of like multiplying by w. Okay, well then I get something like that, which I didn't like that much either. So I'm going to add 1 to this to keep it from dividing by 0. That looks good. It looks like it has a slight distortion on there. So then I thought I'd multiply it by a factor. I call it the pinch punch factor. Right there. And there I'm seeing that pinching effect. So if I make this bigger, oh yeah, now it's really getting bigger. So that's pretty good. Then I thought, well, what happens if I make this a variable I that can go positive or negative, and see what happens with that. So if I do that, this can really sweep it, and when it gets down to 0, it sort of goes to all lines, and then it passes through here and goes wild, and then it goes back up to this point, which if I zoom in on that is sort of a punch point. The final formula came out to be setting up my vector for v, setting up for r, and then just v over parentheses 1 plus pp times r divided by w. You can also use other patterns. I set this up with a Voronoi pattern, and here's how that looks. For the Voronoi pattern, I had to modify this because it requires you to have both an x and a y coordinate. And I divided each coordinate by the factors I plus c times r over w. Okay, let me know if you have any comments or questions, and thanks for watching.